Alongside the Myers family, we did joint lives. I also joined in their lives. I also cheered them on every single video that the Crap Girls did. I talked about them all the time for people to go and support an amazing family channel that did quite a lot for Blackpool. And again, I've never ever changed my stance on that, because right at the beginning, that is exactly what the channel was. It was doing absolutely fantastic for Blackpool, reviewing all different hotels and showing Blackpool in a very different light. And I was more than happy to support that. So obviously, I've been involved in a lot of different channels. You know, I do many different collaborations. I'm quite, I don't want to say well known on YouTube, but I'd say that I'm well known amongst the YouTubers in Blackpool. I think that's fair to say that I'm quite well known with them all. I'm not reading any comments, guys, because I'll lose my train of thought. So I'd say that I'm quite well known. I mean, I was actually at the Content Creator Awards on Friday evening, alongside Steve and Chris and the Three Musketeers as friends, you know, supporting one another. So I'd say I'm quite well known amongst the Blackpool YouTubers, from having the family business and also all the different channels doing collaborations. So that's my background. So the background with the Myers family and Katie Myers was, we did kind of have that acquaintanceship, friendship, whatever you want to call it. I'm unsure on what that actually was now, but that you can make of that whatever you want. And so we decided to launch some merchandise, and we was doing our merchandise, and I've even got the messages still on my phone to this day. And Katie said, "Oh, I would love to get involved in having my merchandise." So me being me, and this is what I do for anybody knows me, knows that I'll try and help in whatever way I possibly can. Much to my detriment, much to Amosa's detriment as well. Anyway, so I went and I spoke to Chris and my dad, and I said about helping Katie Myers launch her own merchandise, because obviously we bought all the machines as a collective. We bought all the printing products as a collective. We designed, got the designs and everything made by Craig, our lovely designer. And we wanted to try and help her. You know, she was doing fantastic with her channel. It was something that we really felt strongly about getting behind. So we did. We launched her first merchandise with her. We sent everything over to Craig that we would like on the designs and everything. And it was a struggle, because obviously Katie was so picky on different things. You know, I would be printing out a design that Craig had done, and then she'd change her mind on a certain colour or a certain font or a certain, you know, it was rather difficult. And then, so we launched the merchandise finally after all that, which was a giggle. It really was back then. I can't slate her for it now. It was a giggle. I was like, "Are you for real? I've just like printed all of this, and now you're saying you want to change it again? Can you make your mind up?" kind of thing. So it was never seen in a bad way. It was always like seen as a giggle. And so basically, the only way I can describe this is we was doing the collaborations in the arcade, and anybody who knows us and watches the channels, I mean, there's numerous channels, including Walk on the Wild Side. We do collections for a children's charity called Brian House. Now, Brian House is very close to our hearts, because when the Crap Boys very first started YouTube, I don't know why, but people would be sending them money. Okay, so they would put like an address up, which was always Chris's address, or it would be Happy Day's address, just for a letter or kind words of support, you know, write to a YouTuber. That's basically what it was, write to a YouTuber. So they started opening up these letters, and there would be £10 in it, there'd be £20 in it. You're doing a great job, blah, blah, blah. Well, the thing is, these people that started these YouTube channels, they've got businesses. They don't need other people's money. So they said, what can we do as a collective? My dad, obviously, with him being born and bred in Blackpool, my dad said, because obviously Chris isn't really from here, he's lived here 20 years. I actually call him an immigrant, so oh god, I'll be bullied for that as well. But that's tongue in cheek. He's like an uncle. That's all I can say. So they used to receive this money, and they turned around as a collective and they said, "What the hell do we do with this? Like, what can we do with this?" And my dad said, "Why don't we start fundraising for Brian House?" So that's every single letter that was sent with any money in it. You know, I think it got to like 1,500 in the first year of people just loving these two characters on screen and wanted to send them a thank you, you know. No PayPal, no anything like that, just through the post. This was done. Never advertised for anything, never asked for anything. And we thought we'd try and turn it into something good. So my dad being my dad and my mum being my mum turned around and said, we don't need other people's money. We can do something good with this money and we can donate it. So then obviously the Crap Girls jumped on board with that, and the Crap Girls was also receiving donations. You know, we've raised a lot of money for Brian House. Katie Myers was also involved in the fundraising of Brian House, one of our subscribers. I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning her name, called Joanne. And she actually did a sponsored head shave through our subscribers to raise funds for Brian House. And Katie Myers was involved in that. So Katie Myers was involved in quite a lot to do with Brian House. She knew the dynamics around Brian House. She knew that everything that was ever sent in was always opened on screen. It was always filmed on screen, etc. Anyway, after the Brian House fundraiser, my dad had another idea, because my dad's full of ideas, and he decided to give out of his own pocket, you know, as the horrible man that he is and the horrible man that he's being portrayed. He decided to give out of his own pocket. So my parents have got an amusement arcade on Blackpool Promenade. Inside that amusement arcade, we've got a multi-win prize bingo, which is family friendly for all ages. And we've also got a cafeteria at the back, and we've also got an ice cream area, as well as the amusement arcade. So my dad decided to give a little bit back, and he turned around and said that with the bingo wins, if people come in and play, they can actually write on the back of the win and post it in a certain letterbox, which is situated inside the amusement arcade. And for every win that went in, he would donate the ticket amount to Brian House. And that was out of my father's own pocket. So that's another side of the Brian House thing that people don't know about, is that my dad donates through his own business, through the bingo wins, that by rights, you know, that money should be on that stock in his bingo, and he doesn't care. He wants to support that charity as much as he possibly can. And again, I'm going to mention Walk on the Wild Side. Walk on the Wild Side sells calendars, and every single year Steve will donate money from his calendar sales towards Brian House. No one's forced to do any of this. These are all personal choices from these men and these families that are involved in these businesses and in these YouTube channels. These are our choices to do this. No one's ever forced to send anything. And we got slandered, guys. We got slandered, and we got accused of being charity thieves, which is quite detrimental to all of us, including Walk on the Wild Side, including Chris Higgett, including my dad, my mum, my brother, myself. And unfortunately, when this was all going on, my parents, as you know, we have a Blackpool season. So with us having a Blackpool season, when you guys are on holiday during June, July, August, right the way up to September, when the kids go back, we've never had a summer holiday. We've always had winter holidays, because our time to go on holiday is November, December, January, February, and then back for March, and then you're straight into Easter. So we have winter holidays. And when my parents go away on holiday, that's their time to kick back. That's their time to relax. That's their time to wind down from the season. And unfortunately, whilst my parents was away in Vietnam with another famous YouTuber, Jeff Carter, their business was being slandered from underneath their feet, and they had absolutely no idea what was going on. My mother was in absolute tears, thousands and thousands of miles away, crying on the phone. Sorry, it's so upsetting, because my mum's not a well person either. And she was distraught on the phone for the first time in all these years, that she had to put a public notice of slander on her business. Never had a problem before in her life. My dad, born and bred here, never had a problem in his life. Had to put a public notice up of slander, and all the bad reviews and everything that was all being made on the business, and all the charity allegations. And yeah, there was a lot. There was a hell of a lot. It's all still there, guys. It's all still there on the Happy Days page. Go and take a look for yourself. And you can also see the amount of support that we've got within the town, and what sort of family we are. There's quite a lot of Blackpool people, celebrities. I call them celebrities because they are quite very popular people within the town, business owners, etc., all supporting Happy Days and Happy Days family through that stress at the hands of Katie Meyer's followers and her voice notes to these followers. I don't think we deserved any of that. I don't think that Hermosa has deserved any of that. And we're real people. We help a lot of people. And again, to our own detriment. And now, months on, we're defending our names, we're defending our reputations.